like I landed on a whole new planet. Although I had had international experience working at an international school, I still had to navigate life as an immigrant in a new country, and that can be really daunting. So, aside adapting to the environment, there are also expectations in the workplace that may be different from our experiences back in Africa or what we see as the norm in Nigeria. And that's why we're doing this live session today, so that we share our experiences and also let you know a bit of the things you might experience in the workplace and some culture shock, so that when it happens to you, it doesn't feel like a surprise. And if you think you're not a teacher and you happen to come across this video, please don't just skip. A lot of the things we're going to be talking about today also applies to people in other professions. So you want to stick around. And if you're already in the diaspora and you have your experience, kindly let us know some of the experiences you had. What are the things that came to you as a shock? Please let's interact in the comment section. Hello, lovelies, and welcome to today's live. Guys, we've been on this for 1 month. I don't know if you ladies realize that we've been doing this for 1 month.
Yes.
Yay! So every single
Yes.
Sunday, we've had to come on here to share different tips on teaching abroad. And our main goal, our main drive has been to ensure that our classrooms abroad reflect the diversity in the student population. Driving this initiative with me are two amazing ladies. I'm going to allow them introduce themselves.
So, hello everyone. I'm the international teacher. I call myself the Ajala teacher. And honestly, what we're talking about today, in my own life, it has been multiplied by 9. Because every time I move to a new country, it's like I'm reinventing the whole thing all over again. It's been a fantastic time. I love traveling. I love teaching. Two of them combined together makes me I think I need a PhD in traveling and adapting to new countries.
I hope we find that course. I'm interested, curious to see this.
So guys, come on out and join us. And yes, you'll be blown away by the amount of things that you will learn, by the way your life will change. Yeah.
Hello, guys. My name is Omowumi, and I'm a licensed teacher in the UK. I'm a supply teacher in the UK. The OGs on my channel, I have a YouTube channel as well. The OGs on my channel knows what supply teaching is, where you need to teach in different schools, yet adapt to different things entirely every day. Or I would say once in a while, you have to apply to different. So here, this is what we're talking about today. So you've gotten that, talked about CV clinic. We talked about getting jobs in abroad, teaching jobs abroad. We've talked about interview tips, and now you've gotten the job. Here today, we are sharing with you what you're going to expect while teaching abroad.
Yeah. My name is Unye Anikwe, and I am a US and UK licensed teacher. I'm currently based in the UK, and we each have our YouTube channels. So Janet is Diaspora Doodles, Ajala Traveler, been to 6 different continents and repping
6 countries, sorry.
I'm repping Nigeria so well. Maumi is our scientist, and her channel, Maumi, I don't quite know the name of your channel. That is quite surprising. I think
Maumi.
Could you Maumi? Okay. No, there's something else. Did you change it?
Yeah, that is the handle. Omoumi Temitayo TV. Yes, that's the handle.
Yeah. Omoumi Temitayo TV. And I am Onido Anikwe on YouTube. So you want to go to each of our channels. We have lots of videos, playlists on teaching, and please drop your questions there. Ladies, so I was just thinking today, and I felt like although DEI is a big thing in the diaspora, this thing called cultural difference is actually still a big thing. And there's a whole lot of difference when it comes to classroom dynamics from what we're used to back home. So would you guys like to share the workplace experiences, what you think that people should know in terms of workplace expectation, especially people coming from Africa to teach in the diaspora?
Okay, so the first thing for me is that whenever I go to a new country, I notice the difference that I'm the only black person walking along the streets. I'm the only black person in the school. I'm the only black person, period. There was even a time that when I was here in the UK, even when I was here in the UK, I was in Worcester, but on the other side of Worcester, across the river. And I remember one of my relatives came to visit me. And the taxi driver, you know how taxi drivers stay outside of the train station, yeah? The
Mhm.
taxi driver didn't even ask where she was going, where the person was going. This is the UK that there's a lot of black people. But where I was just a remote place where it was 3% minority, not 3% black, 3% minority. Taxi driver
Yeah.
just carries this woman and
It's-
brings the person to my house, knocks on my door. You have a visitor outside. And I'm like, I
Oh
don't know
dear.
who this person is. He said, oh, he just saw black, and the woman didn't say anything. And I was like, Madam, where are you going to? And she couldn't speak English, she was speaking Swahili. So it was hilarious. So that's the first thing. Get ready for that. If you're not used to it, start putting your mind into it, putting your head into that mind space so that you might be the only black person for miles.
Yeah.
And your culture is different from their culture. So in the beginning, you'll be like fish out of water. But gradually you find out that your lungs can adapt to being out of water and you will be fine.
Yes, we always thrive anywhere we go. That's what we're known for. Yeah, Omomi.
Yeah, similar to what Jay said when I came in. I think let's just talk about like some of the things we encounter in terms of culture shock before we divert into teaching, so you know what you're coming to see. Yeah. So when I came in back home, even if you're holding, I did my NYC in Ibadan. So those Nigerians will know what NYC is, whereby you serve your father's land. So
Yeah.
yeah, my husband now, then fiancé, we were just holding hands, and the market women were like, "Can you just get away with this rubbish you're doing?" Surprised that how? But here, you even see people doing extras um, publicly, and you cannot just. You shouldn't be shocked. You might be shocked, but you must not
You must
react
not
like, "Oh,
stare.
what
You
are you
must not
doing?
even
What is this?"
stare because you look
You must not
odd.
stare. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So this is just like a tip into what we're talking about today. So we're going to be diverting into teaching classroom, what you're going to encounter in schools, and then yes, that is what we are going to be talking about today.
Yeah, for me, one culture shock I experienced, and this was back in Nigeria though, working at the international school, is this fake smile. Guys, somebody sees you and goes, and then you say hi to the person that just did, and they
That
ignore
your
you.
that
And
your smile is too big. It's too big. It's like,
I'm like, why did you just
Thank you,
do that?
Jay.
Like, if you don't feel like saying hi, then please keep your what's this? I couldn't just wrap my head around that.
and before the smile disappears before you even turn your head. You've not
Yes,
even you
yes.
can see it. And then you're stood there thinking,
Yes, like I thought this person just smiled at me. Is it
yeah,
not
like
supposed
is
to
was that me?
exchange
And
pleasantries?
the one that freaks me out is the one where when you now call them out, they go, no, 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 that's not what we
Oh,
meant. And then
yeah,
because there's two or three other people there, they'll be like, no, 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 that's not what she meant. Maybe because you're from not from here, you don't understand. But here, and I'm like, do not gaslight me. But that's I'm
exactly.
seeing it with my eyes, but not with my mouth. Because with my mouth I'm smiling, but with my eye I'm going,
Yeah, that's something you need to learn when you're here, smiling even when you don't feel like smiling. That one is
Yeah,
something
and
else.
the funniest thing is you get used to it. I still did this. What you're talking about, I still did it today. Like the lady said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "Yeah." So you're definitely going to get used to it. Yes, you will learn the fake smile. You know, you learn it.
it's well, your lips will smile, but your eyes are not smiling. You know that kind of
Like,
Exactly.
this thing caused quarrel on TikTok recently. Do you really remember? It caused
yeah,
quarrel.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was so
yeah.
big on TikTok. And I was like, yes, I was like, can I like more than twice? Please. I want to like 3, 4 times because I understand what the girl is saying.
Very
Oh
annoying.
my
Let's
goodness.
say hi to some of the people who joined us today. Fortune and welcome, Omo Bazwaye. Um, Fortunate
I can
Sadiq.
see all my people. My people are here today.
Someone saying, "Love you, big sis. Been here waiting for you all to come online." He's so happy to be on.
Woohoo!
Sadiq Olayemi,
Hi,
um,
Sadiq.
Brume Ogboru.
Hi,
Sorry
Brome.
if I'm slaughtering your name. Please pardon me.
Uh-uh.
Olale Omodeni, Bolaji Joseph, Robinson
Oh,
Olushola.
wow.
Welcome to everyone who has made out time of their busy schedule to join us today. Ladies, let's talk about the workplace expectation. Because one thing I've
Okay.
learned, personally, one thing I've learned working in the diaspora is that, man, these people are not your friends. You should be friendly, but your colleagues are not your friends. They are two different things. You just have to be professional, act professionally, and I've learned not to try too hard because these people already have, I kind of feel like they already have their expectation of you before you even start working. So rather
Yes.
than focusing on trying to be friends with them or trying to get into their good book, I focus on upping my game when it comes to my job so that whether you like me or not, you will notice me because you know that I am so good at what I do and you cannot just ignore me. So that's where my focus is. I try to be friendly, but I don't even try too hard to get because I know that no matter what I do, I mean, you cannot. I'm not from your place. It's just, and I understand with them because even when I communicate with my fellow Africans or Nigerians, I feel more comfortable and at ease to be able to, express myself, bear my mind compared to when I'm, communicating with them. So I assume they feel the same way. So I've given up on trying to, try to please anyone or try to be friends with anyone, and I focus on my job and try to be the best I am at what I do. And that way I get my respect. And, yeah, because I mean, I can't be a pushover. So what do you ladies think?
For me, I think it's a balance. You're everybody's friend, but you're nobody's
Yes,
friend.
exactly.
So that way they can't hold you and say you're not friendly. Because let me give you this little gist here. I was once put on an action plan in a school. I will not name the country now, the continent. I was once put on an action plan because I did not socialize. Can you imagine that? An action plan of a month, and they were like, after the 1 month, if I do not socialize, I would leave. Now, I had friends in other schools. There was an American school nearby, and I was friends with most of them. Most of the people in the American schools were my friends. We used to hang out, at the end of the week for the weekend. The German school nearby, I was friends with almost everybody there. But I think the problem was that because I'm older, most people do this when they're young because they don't want to be traveling around the world when they have children and uprooting the children. I'm the only one that is brave enough to do all of that with my children. So they put me on an action plan once, and it really broke my heart because I had to ask, is my work suffering? They said no, your work is perfect. Is there anything about my profession, my professionalism that is bad? They were like, no, 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 you're very professional, but you lack the human touch. Now that was because I was trying my best not to get in trouble. I didn't want to hang out with them on the weekends to drink. I don't drink. I go to church on Sunday. They don't go to church. I go to braid my hair, so my whole Saturday is blocked out. They hang out on Saturdays. So there were so many things that we did not flow on. But I flowed with some other schools because those other teachers were black. So I flowed with them. I had to learn to do something. After school, I give myself an hour and I do all of my work. And then I start going into everybody's classroom. Hi, Tracy. You know that they are greeting. I think one woman has something like a short on her channel where she goes, hi, 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 Tracy. Hiya, hiya. And it might take 5 minutes. I became the chief of hiya, Tracy. How are you? What's oh my god, I love your displays. At the end of the day, you look at me and anybody they ask, oh Johnny, very friendly, very friendly. But at the end of the day, I go into my classroom and I have to breathe and remove my face and put it there, and my real face comes out because my face is now stiff from that smile. There were some that were really my friends, and we were very, very bad together. Like we would be laughing, doing funny things in the corner, and I call them my work besties. But everybody was my friend. everybody at work. It's sort of fake, but it gets me far. So if you can
Yeah.
try that, it might help you.
Yeah, so it's important to be friendly, but bear in mind that they are not your friends. So don't go
You
and start giving out some personal because the mouth does not have filter.
what what I realized was that they're very they overshare. You think they overshare, but they don't. They might just be talking about their cup of water, but the way they will talk about the water, you will think this person has shared her whole life with me. If you adapt that, talk about your dog, talk about your don't talk about your children. No, don't talk about your children, don't talk about yourself, don't talk about your life, don't talk about anything personal. Hmm? But you can talk about something mundane. Oh, yesterday I got into my car and I walked and I drove, and you talk about it with all the details, but you are really not talking about anything. So that way they think, oh, she has told us everything, but you've not told them anything. Then you'll be safe. Because if you tell them about yourself, they will find something about it, about your personal life, that might get you in trouble.
Yeah, once you say it to one person,
So
you've said it to
I'll share an experience about what Jay said. Yes, the person might be watching this video later, so I'll just give a brief description of what happened. So it's someone that I know that is into teaching in the UK here. So in the staff room, we also have staff room here in the UK. Tea room is in some schools it's called tea room. So they were talking about some things happening. I will not mention that, not to go into details, but it's something that is common back then in Africa, very common back then in Africa, in which is not accepted legally here. It's no longer legal in Africa as well. So they were talking about this discussion, and the lady had to talk about it. That in fact she went through such thing when she was young and all that. She just about it. They laughed about it. Oh, so, well, about I think a week after, the whole safeguarding team had to come to her, and she had to explain and explain and explain. Fine, good for her. There was no action, disciplinary action, because it was a personal experience. But it's actually, she said she was so down for this. What she was like, why did I open my mouth to say so? Why can't I just shut it up? That was what she told me. So so yeah, don't talk about your personal life. The In terms of, it's not that they actually, it wasn't probably they snitched on her, but what you will feel, oh, this is nothing. In other culture, it is a big thing. So it's
yeah.
just best you shush and just keep your personal things to yourself.
There's one that is going on in social media now. I don't know if you've seen it. Please comment down below. Okay, so it's in a workplace, and this African teacher, she's Nigerian. In fact, let me just be very honest. She's Nigerian. You know how in Nigeria you talk and you laugh and you hit the person, other person, and you just hit the other person. So she hit the other person on her bum because she felt, come on, you safe. And she hit. She's going through a sexual assault. She's being charged with sexual assault right now.
Harassment, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Sexual harassment. Yes. So, and that means her DBS will have the sexual harassment. And once her DBS has sexual harassment, she will
Yeah.
not, if she was a teacher, or if she's a teacher, that is the end. She can say goodbye on
Yeah.
every continent, because you want to go from, if she's if she's in Europe, for instance, and that sexual harassment is going on, she needs reference and DBS to go to whatever country she wants to go to. And that means they will come and look for her past record here in Europe, and they will that's it. She needs to say goodbye to teaching if she was a teacher. So please, let's be careful about some of the things that we try to bring from our culture.
Yeah, but that thing is really not Nigerian culture. Like, why would you be spanking people on their body parts? If it's on the hand, I
No,
understand. But on
yeah, I
the
will say
bum,
it's not. I will say,
Maybe she wanted to hit something, and then the
yeah.
other person was walking away and her hand touched the back now, you know.
she was saying, nah, I bet no
Yeah,
best now.
yeah.
I miss my hits.
Have you seen that recent one on social media where she was like, They said she's frowning. She doesn't smile.
Yes. And she
Then
was
she
like,
comes in the morning.
hello, hello. Someone, someone is saying, which kind of lifestyle be this? So one has to learn to be fake. Whistle Red Bull.
Yes, you have
Yes,
to be fake.
you have to. I'm still struggling with that. I'm still struggling with it, but I
I
hopefully
have a PhD in it now. You need to
I'm,
see me
I'm,
at work.
I'm still
Eh,
struggling.
there are some of my work colleagues that will watch this later. I know, but don't worry, guys. We'll talk about it later, and I'll give you the gist.
I'll get there. Maybe I'll start the rehearsal tomorrow. I'll start the rehearsal tomorrow. Hello, how you
Hello! Oh my God, you look amazing. I find when you praise them, it goes a long way. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. I became friends with one because I admired her tattoo. So she has a lot of tattoos, and I was like,
Yes.
ooh, you have so much, I can't even stand the tattoo. And you have
Hey.
how many? And she was like, oh yeah. So I'm like, see this one.
And I go into their class. If you can't find
She will,
anything on, if
she
you
will
go
tell
to
you the story of how she did
Told me and
everything.
even called her other friend. Imagine she
the
left her room, went to the next class to call her friend, and then the friend showed me her how many, almost 20. I'd be what?
yes,
I'm
she
like,
start
and the
showing
next
you because
training.
now you're
Am I
bonded.
like, see this one?
If I don't see something to like about them, I go and like their display. Oh my God, your display is. I can see the thought you've put into it. Oh my God, did you?
Yeah,
I'll be looking at it as well. I'm looking at one Picasso. Meanwhile, it's not. It's not. It's just display. Oh,
yeah. So in essence, these things that we don't count as anything. I mean, in Nigeria, if you don't feel like talking to someone, you don't have to. But
exactly.
here is an
Yeah.
expectation. It makes them feel like you're social and you're
Yes.
friendly and you have a
Yes.
good work ethics and all that. But please don't overdo it. Just find the balance, like Jay said.
Mm,
Another thing I want to
mm.
bring up is here, nobody, like in Nigeria, you know how we look out for ourselves, right? And then you go say, oh, did you check? Did you see this or did you see that? In most cases, especially when you're teaching, everybody's in their classroom from morning till maybe the end of day in school. You want to understand the policy in your school. For
Yes.
drills, understand when you hear this alarm, what does this alarm stand for? What drill is this
Yes.
alarm for? Because sometimes you have
Is it
um
knockout? Is it that shut down?
exactly,
Is it,
exactly.
you know,
Understand the drills. There are always folders, or yeah, like in my former school, they had physical one, but they are in the drive.
soft
You have
copy?
to
Yeah.
familiarize yourself with the drive, or if you're using Microsoft, familiarize yourself with all the documents, all the policies in the school. Is there a communication? Is there a way you guys communicate? What's
Exactly.
your organogram like? If there's an issue, who do you know pass on
Don't wait for them to tell you. Go and read it by yourself.
exactly understand how communication flows in your workplace. All that is what you're supposed to do by yourself. Nobody is going to do it for you. So be aware that you should, that's something you should bear in mind. Nobody's talking to you or trying to tell you what to do. So if you're messing up on your own. And when they call you out, you don't have any ignorance is not an excuse.
No.
Documents, you should have read them. That's why they are there. You have
Yes.
any questions, you should not feel scared or ashamed to ask.
Eh,
Ask. Let them laugh at you. When you're just
but
starting out, you just have to ask those questions. And
but
then with time, you become, ask reasonable questions though.
there are some questions. Don't ask. Oh, please.
Yeah, you of course you've done your own research. If there are places where you need clarity, that's why I said ask reasonable questions.
Okay.
Don't just go out, set out asking questions that, yeah, do your own research first. They are going to hand you, maybe they sign you up to the email or whatever of the school. You're on the Google Drive. Just play around with the resources that have been made available to you. Then when you now get stuck, you can always, either your grade level partner, like whoever it is you're teaching the same grade level with, the
Yeah.
same class with, you can ask, or maybe even your TA, you can ask, so that if you're fumbling, at least you're fumbling like to people that, I mean, you're on the same level with, and you're
Be
not seen as being stupid.
be very afraid of your TA when you first get to the school.
That's one of the points I jotted, because those ones are like spies, right?
They're not like they are spies.
They are the ones that will sell you out. So you have to be conscious that there's camera. That eye, those two eyes are like cameras. You have to always feel like you have a camera in the classroom. because that's exactly what they are.
My advice is walk as if your right hand will report your left hand. So as if your right hand is the snitch, or is going to snitch on your left hand. So always make sure you are guarded, not too guarded to be to the point where you are stiff. But
Uptight,
at
yeah.
least just, it's not your country, and there's no backup here, and you are one against a big number. So
Yeah.
always remember that.
Bring in the Hollywood vibe. No, not Hollywood,
Yes,
Nollywood. Bring in the Nollywood skills, you know.
what
Come to
your
play.
your
You're an
acting,
actor.
yes, Oscar award every year. Oscar
Hey,
award every year.
guys, we're live. Everyone is watching us. Mindful of what you're saying.
No, but no, we're okay.
And
We're helping.
I'm just trying to tease you.
We're helping our brothers and sisters before they come here and enter the
Very
same school
important
we
to you need
entered.
to
It's
know.
better.
So that
Yoruba people will say, "Ogun aso tele kò lè parọ́." I don't know, people who speak Yoruba on this channel, it means that if someone who is disabled or physically challenged person, if he hears that there's a war coming, before the war gets to him, he will know how to get himself out of the way. So this is the inside gist that we're giving you guys, so that you will know how to prepare yourself, your mind, and get ready for the journey ahead.
yeah. And for those people who like to chat, you discuss work related issues just by chat, please learn to document. Send an email. Let the person acknowledge that email. What you're doing is you're creating a trail of communication so that if anything happens, you have a document that you can show to say that on so and so day at so and so time.
Yes.
And when you're, if I copy, attach the emails, and then you're coming with, enough evidence to show for whatever it is you're saying. And for this applies to the kids as well. If you're a primary school teacher, for instance, if there are incidences in school, maybe there's a child who doesn't listen, for every time you have to take certain measures, please document the day, document the time. And it's not your job to force kids to do things. If you talk to children, exhaust all your classroom management skills. If you need to seek help, seek help. But if you were documenting, you can then say, on so and so day, this was what happened, and this was what I did, and this was how the child reacted. So if you have all those things kept down, then whoever it is your principal or whatever, knows that you've had this thing and you've done something, and this is the outcome of what you did, and you have tried different strategies, and now you really actually do need help or need support for that kids. Don't touch the child. As in, even as far as holding me, I don't even grab children at all, because some of them will go meanwhile I mean, there was one that I just held this boy. Next thing, the boy is like, she's hurting me. I'm like, and the only reason I don't do that, the only reason why I had to, because the child is he needed support in terms of,
yes. I like the way you said that, because we've not talked about the way we talk to the children.
He needed support, and I had
so stubborn. The child needed support.
I had verbally, told him several times what to do, and he's still year one.
Yes.
One. So sometimes you need to actually support them. But I touched the Pekin like this, as I quickly withdrew my hand, and I was looking at the boy's hand. Nothing. The boy knew what he was doing. Meanwhile, the other teacher in the class, if you see the force this woman used to grab this boy.
It's okay if she grabs him, not you.
The boy did not shout. So what I'm just trying to, bring up here is, it's not your job to force kids. Your own is to talk to them. Try as much as you can to use your words. Use your words. Avoid using your hands. If it means putting your hands behind you as you're talking, just do it. Document. And yes, with colleagues, with kids, make sure you're documenting.
Talking about touching, putting your hand on a child is a no. That's the first thing.
Putting as in eating, right? That's what you mean.
No. Even just holding, because
Holding, yes.
I know holding, hugging, touching, physical contact. There's no physical contact at all. If the child is coming too close, you step back.
Yeah, but Jay, honestly, for kids who are younger, like for early years, sometimes you have to.
I like how you said
For
sometimes.
early years,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to. But what we're taught is
No,
if you
any
have to
years you can.
if you have to hold a child, stretch out your hand to the child. Let
Yes.
the child hold you,
There's space
right?
in between
Yes.
you. Yes.
Extend your hand towards the child. The child is the one holding your hand, not the other way around.
No
And then when you're walking with a child, you're walking on the same level with that child.
level.
If the child is lagging behind, it's
You slow
interpreted
down.
as you dragging the child.
Yes.
So you have to bear that in mind. The child would rather be in front, but not at the back. Once you're seen holding a child like that, even if you're not dragging, the interpretation is that you were dragging the child. And the funny thing is that sometimes when judgment against you is being passed,
Yeah.
you will not be there and nobody will consult you. The cameras,
Yes.
the
Yes.
cameras
Yes.
give all the information they need. And so just be mindful about that.
Yeah. Fist bump is all right, but please make sure you stretch the hand out.
Yeah, I do that. Exactly. I do. I do that. I do that sometimes, especially when,
Yeah, I like the way you're stretching yourself.
especially when I've been so. Yeah, I do. I do. Majority millennial, I do fist bump. Yeah, and they are so, especially when I've probably been.
They
You know,
love it.
sometimes your eyes are hot to students. Yes, and they just say, "Oh, Miss is angry," and they'll be like, "Okay, fist bump, Miss. I'll do that."
High
I will
five.
feel
High
relaxed.
five
I
is
feel
okay
happy.
too.
So you can do. Yeah, so you can do fist bump, but your fist, just like Jay said, the fist. Let everyone see that it's fist bump.
It's fist bump. Oh, I'm not. And then
I'm not doing anything. No.
high five is okay as well.
Hey, can I say something here? Since we're
Yes.
still on the top of physical touch, if you are a secondary teacher, and you are a man, okay, I don't know how to break this English down because we are on a public space here, but please, number one, please don't like anything that will be misconstrued as sexual on your social media. In fact, go and lock your social media. That's number one. Number two, if the students are starting to come near you, whether boy or whether girl, because we know that there's a same-sex relationships, please put a barrier, a an emotional barrier between both of you. Don't say, oh, the child is very smart, so I like the child, I give fist bump, and then after some time it's only that child you give fist bump all the time. Okay, they will say something else. So maybe today fist bump, tomorrow give sticker. The day after that, maybe for example, for me, I developed something in my class where if the child does something good, I break into a dance. I'm like dun 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 dun. So the children already know, okay, she's happy, that means I've done something good, and there's no need for physical contact. So I'll be like, oh wow, and then I'll break into moonwalk, and all of them will laugh. And so you know that you've done something good, because sometimes fist bump is you've done something good, well done. But let them not think, hey, this one child fist bump all the time.
In fact, it's
They will start
once
to.
in a blue moon.
So I started developing other ways. Maybe I'll dance, or I had a song, the Avengers song. I'll just play just a little clip of it. When they've done something good, I'll play that clip. Everybody knows that. So there's no physical contact. There's no. They say, I say, she said. About me so phone simbe.
Yeah, and for younger kids, there are actually a lot you can do. Give yourself a
Yes.
pat on the back. They can pat themselves
Yes.
on the back. Give yourself a fantastic.
Yes.
Different things they can do for themselves without you
Twinkle
being.
your
You know
Everybody twinkle your fingers. She's done
exactly.
something good. Everybody
Yes,
twinkle your fingers. Me too. I'm
for that
twinkling my
child.
fingers
Yes.
for that child. But Tinkle, I will come and touch you or give you high five. But no. They will say that African teacher did something.
And then since you brought up
But,
secondary,
Fab videos.
for no reason. Sorry, your mom, you go on.
Yes,
Is she
you finish.
frozen?
Then I will talk about what
Okay.
Fab videos is talking
On
about.
no condition, let me not use for no reason because it seems too harsh. On no condition should you have a child's phone number in your phone. Like that's personal contact of a child. You don't
It's
need it.
illegal. It's illegal.
Anything ever, or maybe you have the number and then you're chatting the child or something. All those things, they are minors, so you shouldn't do that. You don't need the student's phone number, and they really don't need your phone number for anything,
They don't
right?
at
They
all.
need your phone number, you don't need your phone number. So on no reason should you exchange contacts with your students for those in secondary. Whether male or female, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, because yeah, it doesn't really matter whether it's female to female or male to male. It doesn't really matter. So be mindful.
So someone here said, what
And
about in special education? Special
yes, that's
education
what I want
needs
to talk about. Yes, because
that
I've
one.
worked in the special education needs school as supply, and it's a very challenging one. So when we're
Yeah.
talking about touching in special education needs school, these students has a care plan, so you know what they can do. I actually touched. In fact, I would say I hugged. It's when I was in special education in school, because we had to. I won't use the word restraint, but we had to do something at that particular time, because this is a critical special education needs school. It's a critical
Yeah.
one. So it actually depends on your school, the care plan of the child. There are some children, even in special education needs school, there was a child in that school. You don't go when you have too much contact. It's
It's seen
it
as
triggers them. Yes. So it depends on the child's care plan when it comes to special education in school.
yeah.
And still in line with what Onyi was saying about phone numbers, I would also say don't let village people follow you to collect cash or
Phone
money.
number.
Even about, yeah, I'm just trying to say cash, because I would say in several schools I've been to, because I'm supply, I'm opportunity to be in a lot of schools. I've seen these students say they will try you. Miss, can we go to break on time? I'll give you £5. When you say that, I go very hungry, and they know I go very hungry. I will tell them, what do you mean? Don't laugh. In fact, don't laugh to that kind of statement, and you'll be like, oh
No,
no.
you just change
No,
your face.
be very
Am
frank.
I
Yes, change your
going
face.
up in
No,
here?
yeah, you can't do that. You can't say that, because they would. Not once, so I won't say it's the child. Not one school whereby they will tell you, Miss, I can give you £5 and then we can go early. I will just change my face. No, so don't let village people follow you to go and think, okay, maybe they will not know, and then you go and collect £5.
Some of them will ask you for your TikTok. Some of them will find you on TikTok. Some of them will find you on Instagram. Some of them will ask you, add our Snap. You have Snap? No. No, I don't have Snap. If you have social media, the best, you see me, I'm using diaspora doodles. There's no child that will look for diaspora doodles. They'll be looking for Janet or Janet Barlow. None of my social media, even the one that is not Janet Barlow, because my name is Janet Barlow, they will not find me. That is the thing. You have to change it. Change it to something, change it to three top person or something. So yeah,
And
especially in secondary, because they're at the age now where they feel they know everything. They
Yeah.
feel they can do everything. They know they are right, and they know they will get away with you because it's your word against their word.
Yeah.
And the way the government, I'm not even talking about only in the UK, I'm talking about in the US, in
Yeah.
Australia, in Egypt, in Europe, everywhere. You have to be careful, because all those children, when they start getting to 16, 17, 18, mother nature is pushing them to, they'll come and tell you, sir, you're so hot. Oh, you're so hot. Oh, that's late. Ironio, please. The way you change your face, not too much, before the TA will say, that man is
yeah,
always frowning at children and scaring the children, because the TA too is there looking at you. You'll be giving them chameleon, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, till you go. Is a balance.
and
Yeah.
still in line, I would say different schools as different. In fact, this almost the same with a lot of schools. You're not as it's not accepted using your phone. Using your phone in terms of calling, using your phone in terms of snapping and your ID card is showing,
Or your student's face.
or your student face. In fact, your students will trick you. This happened in one of the schools I went to. When we finished that class, and the students came to me and said, Miss, can we take a picture?
No.
Don't be tempted, though.
No.
Yeah,
Can we
because
take
like
a picture?
most
Later they said, okay. They were like, okay, Miss, you don't want to take a picture with us. Can you take our pictures? And they lined up. I did not
No.
collect that.
No.
in Nigeria, it's actually a normal thing for you to take picture with your
Yeah,
students.
yeah, it's
Look at my
fine.
student.
Even
She's
Yeah, you
very
can even make
pretty.
videos. Yeah,
yeah, even the school cannot take pictures of
yeah,
students like
no,
that. Their parents have to fill out a
without
consent
their
form.
consent.
Yes,
Yes,
for them to be
yes,
able
yes.
to feature on the school's website.
In
That's for
fact,
you
they
to
will
know
ask
how.
for your own consent. I've been
Yeah.
in a class whereby they had to take the pictures of some students, and they said, I should just, when you're taking pictures as if you're teaching them, they came to ask for my consent if I would want to take that picture. So if I said no, it is no, but I just said yes, and they took the picture. So you don't just take pictures of students or videos of students, or take pictures of schools, telling people, oh, I'm now in the UK, look at my school, trying to create content.
You'll be
You have
kicked out.
you have to be
Wait.
very careful.
The next thing we hear is gala, 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 gala.
Oh gosh. You also need to be mindful of the things you say around students,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
these students can go behind you and turn it the other way, and the outcome is not going to be favorable to you at all. And then when handling kids, I missed this one out when we're talking about classroom management. You need to try to have control of your emotions, which
All the
still
time.
boils down to the acting we've been talking about. All the time, you need to be in control of your emotions. Even when you're angry and a child has just told you look like a black monkey, go back to your country.
Go
You're
to my channel. You will find
smile.
oh my Jesus.
When you smile and in your mind you're like, if I lay my hands on you now.
Clippers is what you want to use to,
Yeah,
but you're like, okay, hi Ethan, that's fine. I know you're upset. You need to calm down. I give you 5 minutes and I'll be right back. And
even
I'll
though
go.
you know you're the one who needs to be calming down.
I'm the one that needs the 5 minutes. I need the 5 minutes. I need the 5 minutes to be away from there, because if I grab you, but I won't grab you, I'm just going to go that way and go and count to 10 in my head and come back.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
Also, I
How?
also in relation to that,
Yeah.
yeah, I also said something that whenever you're teaching your students, be ready to they will ask you questions that is not even related to what you're teaching. I'm a science teacher,
Yes.
and on this particular day, I was teaching PSHE, which has to do with drugs and yeah, what was the topic? Drugs, yeah, different
They'll be asking you
classes of
if
drugs.
you've tried
Yes,
it before.
yes, they will ask you if you tried it before. Do you smoke? They will ask you, Miss, do you smoke? They will ask you if you tried a lot of things before. Now, there was this question, and I'm going to talk about it on this channel. If you miss it, because they will ask you questions that they want that village people to shall follow you, shall. So this boy said, Miss, if if someone kills relative, what are you going to do? Are you going to kill the person?
Mommy, please
The boy
repeat it.
asked in a
I
way
don't know
that,
why you're repeating now. Repeat yourself. I didn't hear it very well.
oh, okay. The boy asked, if someone kills your relative,
Ah,
what are you going to do? Yes. What are you going to do with the person? The boy is not asking calmly as I'm asking now. So there's not even time for you to think. The boy asks in a way that if you're not careful
I'll,
with your emotion, I'll tell you for a fact,
I'll,
when the boy asked the TA first. The boy asked the TA in my class first, and the TA said, okay, the boy also said, Miss, are you going to kill that person back? The yes, that was the question. Are you going to kill the person back? It's a yes or no answer. So the TA said, yes, yes, yes. The boy faced me and said, Miss, the boy faced me and said, Miss, what are you going to do? I said, I'll get the authorities. And I said, that wouldn't happen to me though. I said, but I'll get the authorities involved. And he smiled. He said, can you see our own answer? That was what he said. So if
Can you
that answer was going to put that year in trouble, she's in trouble. So you have
So
to be
yeah,
very
you have
careful.
to be on top of your game then.
Somebody said, talk about the end point, money, 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 money. There's a video coming out that we
Oh,
did
okay.
breakdown of money. We did a breakdown.
Yeah.
Mommy and I did a breakdown of
Watch
money.
out on Jay's channel.
IB
Yeah.
physics.
Watch out
See
on
me
Jay's
later.
channel. Physics.
We did a breakdown of money. It's
Yeah,
be out on
for this
Friday.
IB physics, I know you're interested in the money. I understand, but this one is what will keep the money coming.
Mm,
So you want
Yes.
to, because if
exactly.
you can't stay in the job, then the money won't flow. So
Okay,
that
guys, let's talk about the positives. When you come to the diaspora,
Yeah.
you need to open your eyes. There's so much learning that will happen. There's a lot of change that will happen to you, so that by the time you
Yeah.
even, oh, by the time you go back to visit, even you will spot the mistakes as you are entering into the school gate. You'll be like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. So
Mhm. Yeah.
you have to embrace the learning, open your mind. Don't let what we said make you closed off. I need you to understand that it's a
Mm.
journey, and the destination is not the end point. It's the journey that is the whole thing. The journey is where the learning happens. All the people you see and the opportunities you come across. Even if the money comes, the money is there, but you become a changed person. Anytime I go back to Nigeria now, I feel like as if I'm the stranger there, you know? You start to feel as if you're the stranger there. As so you don't be these people will always see you as a stranger, but when you go back that way, you will feel like a stranger because you've changed. You've in gaining all these experiences, you become like a butterfly that has come out of maybe your chrysalis, and everything there now becomes strange to you. So enjoy it, embrace it, and you would love it. I've
yeah,
loved it
it
nine
always
times.
it gets, it gets better as it goes on. I guess we're on the coping mechanisms, right? So,
Coping.
Yeah.
one thing that can help you stay ahead of your game is having a planner. I find that that has worked for me because so while I was teaching at my um even till date, when you get emails and you have a planner, it's easy for you to schedule in all the things you need to do with
Yes.
their timelines. So you're sure that you're always on top of your game. You know when report cards are coming up,
Yes, that
and
one.
maybe start up a week or two or even 3 weeks ahead to start doing maybe one child per day. And before you know it, maybe within a period of 2 or 3 weeks, if you're
You're
taking
done.
it very slowly, one child per day, before you know, you're still going to be able to meet the deadline and you're still going to give it your best because it's not like you're rushing yourself through it. So having a planner, fitting in
Mm.
the activities, everything you need to do with their timelines will help you stay on top of your game. And trust me, the going gets better once you get into the system
Mhm.
and you understand the way these things are. It kind of builds your confidence. So your first year might be a bit shaky, or maybe the first quarter of your first year. But once you get a hang of
Mm.
everything, it's not really a big deal. It's not a big deal because we've had it worse where we're coming from. We had to do a lot of things the crude way. But here,
Yeah.
everything is more refined. You have all the resources you need to make teaching
Mm.
very easy and effortless for you. So it gets better. It gets better. So we're not trying to scare you guys away. I mean, we're here and we're rocking it. So, but it's nice to know what to expect where you come so that
Yeah.
when you come, it doesn't throw you off balance.
Mhm.
If you're going international, like if you're not going to the UK, I know sometimes we focus on the UK. Okay, so
Please
disclaimer
go
ahead.
international. Oh, let me follow you and sing. Go international. The money is there more. Honestly, the money is there
There's
more.
a lot more money in international
Yeah, and
teaching.
it's more interesting. Not just the money, it's more interesting. So if
Yes.
you really want to go international, go for it. I'm
Okay,
on you with you on this, Jay.
I'll be honest, it's almost the same amount of money. But what makes it more is the fact that you are
Benefit,
not paying for accommodation, you're not
benefit.
paying for
Mm.
flight, you're not paying for health insurance, you're not paying for your children's school fees, you're not paying for
Mm.
there's so many I don't pay for my car. So you see there's so many things that because for every time I'm in a country, they give me the option of either giving me transport, providing transport, or maybe I take the school bus, or I sign in for the car from the carpool. Because I have two children, I don't want to jump on the bus with other staff with my two children. So I just sign up for the car. And so that's part of the perk. So at the end of the day, where people spend money for all those basic things, I don't
Mhm.
spend money for those basic things. So my salary comes to me the way it is. And if you're in the Middle East, they won't tax you on top of that. So your money. Then at the end of your contract, so if your contract is 1 year, you get 25% of your yearly salary back as a sign-up bonus. If your contract is 2 years, you get 25, 20. If it's 2 years, it's 20% of your sign-up bonus, 20% of your yearly salary back for staying, so that you're not, it's as if you are saving them the stress of looking for another teacher, interviewing, all the visas and everything. So they give you 20% of your yearly salary back. And sometimes that might translate to $25,000 in a year, and they give it to you usually around Christmas time if you are
Yeah,
signing up, because that's when they
Yeah.
ask other teachers if they are staying or if they are leaving. So that's where, as a teacher, you would see, oh, there's a benefit in that.
R&R too, some free money that
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when you come into the international teaching scene, you don't have too much of what we've discussed today. Why?
yeah.
Because the reason why they have a lot of that, and I had it when I was in the UK, was because everybody in the UK is from the UK. So it's as if you are the stranger who has come into their midst. When you go into international school teaching, everybody is a stranger there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So it's that's why it's a lot easy in international schools. It's easier to accept what you're bringing more in
Yes.
international schools than coming to maybe you're going to the UK. And
Or
I
the
I
US.
kind of I even
Yeah.
kind of feel that the US is still a bit, because in US it's there are different the races are more like that's I don't know, but like most of my colleagues that came from the US, the Americans, there was a year we had more black teachers employed. So at least when you're there, you can still see people that look like you. I mean, there are schools I've been to here, and even the students, I don't even see one student that
Yeah.
looks like me.
I
So
think I think the reason why those black teachers left the US, I experienced that too. If you're in the US and you're black and you're a teacher, you experience so much
pressure.
unconscious bias. So many of them decide to just leave and go outside, especially to countries where there are black. And they know that when they go to international teaching, they meet people from everywhere. So everybody's coming there as a stranger. So we're
Yeah.
all strangers. Which one is what are you doing? No,
But
no,
there's
no,
still
no.
there's still support for, because there in the US they actually name these things. US is not like UK where people um it's as if nobody wants to name anything. Everybody's just being US,
Yes,
they are more confrontational, right? So they are already organizations that are set up to subtly support the black it's something that is ongoing now. They're talking about it, black community teachers. Like I know a lot of groups I had to join back then that were set up by people in the US. Honestly, I feel that UK is UK is worse. Honestly,
Omo,
that's
I
my
came
own
from the
opinion.
US, and I came from the US, and immediately I entered a school in the UK, I felt the same kind of aura.
Vibe.
It's the same kind of vibe. I think it's because everybody is a homogenous environment where everybody understands the culture. They grew up in that culture. So to
Yeah.
them, that's the way. This is the way it is done. Unlike when you
This
go to
is what
international
we
school teaching, when me I'm telling you, this is how we do it where I'm coming from. The other person too will say, this is how we do it. And everybody's saying this is how we do
yeah,
it. Then it
yeah,
now
yeah.
comes to, okay, so how will we do it here?
How do
So
we
there's
integrate
more of
everyone?
a, nobody is from there, so there's nobody ground like Omobile, you understand? So, although I agree, in the US, it's the unconscious bias is covert, whereas in the UK is in your face. This is how it is. Yes, yes, and so everybody thinks that it's normal, and they don't talk about it, but it's there. But in the US, because it's underground, they call it out quickly as soon as they see it. I think that's the difference. Me safe.
Now
I've gone to too many places safe. I need to rest now. I need to stay one place and rest.
go back to Nigerian.
I would
Okay.
love to. I would love to. I
Yeah.
tried, but that's content for another
Another
a
time.
video. Yeah, I
Okay.
tried.
We're still on coping mechanisms, or yeah, almost about
Okay,
to wrap
I
it
want
up.
to mention, I want to say something about, though we've left that stage, but I think it's very important, and
Yes.
it's about whistleblowing.
Oh,
So I would
yes.
say, don't cover up for anybody.
I'm a
Don't say,
boy.
No,
oh,
Remember
she's
you,
my
you
work.
remember them back.
don't say
Yes,
this. Don't
yeah,
say your work
I'm a boy is
bestie.
I'm a boy is a legal thing and the right thing to do here.
Legal.
I'm a boy is the
Yes.
right way. So
Before
probably
them,
let me
never
just give
you remember them.
before them member you. So I'll just give an instance. Probably your TA or other teacher or someone, and you're there, you're witnessing is doing something that is not in line with the school policy. Do you know how you're going to remove yourself is to member the person? Because if you
Fast.
don't say it, when the
Person
thing
goes to
backfires, they will say,
the
Lagbaja was
yeah,
there,
she
and
saw
you
it, it was
all will
there.
be in trouble because they're going to tell you, ask you, why didn't you speak up? Because they will
Yes.
say, what if it has to do with the life of the
A
student
child.
or
Yeah.
yes, or a child? So um, that is what I want to chip in.
Yeah,
Whistleblowing, very
I think
important.
that this actually applies to incidences in the class with the children as well. So if
Yeah,
something
yes,
happens with a child,
you have to say
you should
immediately.
let your the authority know. Maybe the person gets injured or something. There's always an incident form. Communicate to
Yeah,
the parents, but also communicate to your boss so that when the parent calls your boss, then that person is already aware. That way they
mm,
can, defend you. But if you're not aware and they're hearing from the parents, then I mean it's not
mm,
nice. So I think it goes both ways.
Okay, for international teaching, I'm a boy is not part
mm.
of our culture. So, because in those
Really?
countries, no, no, it's not. Because in those countries, we don't have. It's not a national culture. The culture in the country supports ameboism. So, if even if you report to the DSL. The DSL, who would the
Yeah,
person go to?
yeah,
Unlike in the UK where the council will take it up and then before you know DFES, no, no, there's nothing like that. So we don't support ameboism in international school teaching. Yes, you can talk, you write it down, you document everything, but yeah,
yeah. In the UK too, we just write it down with the experience I have. You just send a mail. With for when you get to the school, they are going to do like a meeting with you, the safeguarding department DSL. Yes, they're going to do a meeting with you. They will tell you if this happens, then what you have. Even they will give you like a time frame that you have to do this. Like if you can wait to the end of the class, then it has to be something that is not really. If it's very,
yeah,
very urgent, then you have to send a mail right there. Probably give your students something to do. You have to send a mail right there. So I don't think
yeah,
about going to the council. I'm not sure because I'm supply, but I don't think about going to. But you have to let the safeguarding department. They have to know on time that this is what is happening.
Yeah, actually, you're trying to double paint it. In UK, I'm a boy is the thing. But
uh-huh.
I
In the
remember when I was
UK,
walking back home, then there's a way you go to the principal all the time to talk to her. She'll look at you like, so
who
yeah,
is
I
this?
agree with Jay. International schools, because it was
International school, we don't do
Nigeria,
that.
it wasn't a
Ah,
thing there. But here, Omo, talk because if they get there before you, you're
Yeah,
Oyo is your name. Oyo
and you
is your
were
name.
there. Mm.
Once you notice anything that seems like it's not okay, it's better you speak up and they say, oh, it's fine, than for you not to say anything. And trust me, your colleagues will not be offended that you spoke up because they too will report you.
Yes,
So
yeah, that's just it. Yes,
but
yes,
it
yes.
ends in the school.
in
Now,
the
because
school,
it
yeah,
ends in the school, it doesn't become a big thing. But in the UK, it will start from the school. Before you know, council to be in the local county council. Before you know, it's on BBC and the ITV and the Good Morning Britain. No, no, it's not like that in international school. We solve our problems
yeah, we are all
internally.
problem solvers. Everyone is a problem solver in
Please,
international
people
school.
should
And
come to international school.
Please
yeah,
go
we
to
are
international school. I
coming.
support you. I'm coming to you later.
And also you should keep what word would I use? Oh, you borrow me.
Confidentiality.
Confidential. Thank you. Yes,
Things
keep
that
it
happen
confidential
in the
in
class
terms
or
of
in the class. Don't go and
Please,
yeah,
see the boss. You are discussing a student. You now realize that the student's niece or nephew is inside that bus and you're calling names.
It's not only that. Oh, I've been waiting for us to get to this one. Ngwanu, see, you finish exams, you take your shredder. Me, I have my own personal shredder. The school has a shredder, but I have my personal shredder. I shred the children's. Once I've put all the data in the place I'm supposed to put the data, the children's exam sheets, shred everything. You see, at the beginning of the year, they give you a class list with the parents' phone number, who is the contact person. They give you so much detail. You shred everything. You do not share. In fact, you put two locks. There's a main lock on your laptop. Then inside on your laptop, there should be a folder, and that folder should have a lock. And that folder that has a lock,
Very detective,
you find another one that has a bigger lock because
DSA.
because if anything should come, it may be a child in your class, the details of a child in your class leaks.
Goes out.
They come to you. And number one. Number two, international school clientele is usually
Yeah,
people in power.
yeah.
So many of them, maybe they're in the government or they're in parliament or they have money in big business. So most of them, they are very careful about their details. So you as a teacher, confidentiality is a big thing. I know how many people have been sacked because one child's paper, maybe permission slip, maybe you finish reading the permission slip. This person's child is mom is picking her at 2 o'clock.
Mm.
And then you take the paper and throw it in the bin. Hey?
Mm.
And then it goes to the bin and they do recycling. And after recycling, that paper ends up somewhere else. Shred it. If you can set fire to it after shredding, it saves.
And well, be careful of what you display on your screen as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the screen is always locked such that
Yeah, I freeze it.
Oh, sorry, IB physics. I'm a boy.
Oh, okay.
Tattletales. Sorry, it's a Nigerian slang. Sorry. It's someone who tattletales. If you tattletale in Nigeria, they say it's best is an amebo because it was a program when we were growing up. Something in the 70s. The woman's name was Amebo, and she used to tattletale a lot. So it became a slang where we say that person is an amebo. That kind of thing. So.
Sorry, we thought.
Sorry, IB physics. Why are you not here? There's space near Oyin for you to join us. What is this? I'm international school teacher. That's how I met Oyin. She came on my channel. She said, I'm an international school teacher. I said, come here. We have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay, so we're wrapping it up. Any last words, advice for anyone watching?
You will be fine. Just come here with an open mind. Make sure that you cover your back at every point of the day. If you have any discussion with a parent, a child, anybody, even if you have a discussion with yourself, document it.
I like that discussion with yourself.
Yes, now you know when you write your reflection notes. When you write your reflection notes, you've had a conversation with yourself, you're documenting it. So please, let's not be the kind of people that they will say, if you want to hide something from us, you put it in print. We are not in that category, please. Everything in print must be read, whether it concerns you, whether it doesn't concern you, you read it. Because two people might be discussing something that concerns you, you don't know.
Yeah.
They might be trying to hang you, or they are saying, for anybody who don't, sorry, I know we're rounding up. I know someone who she's a SEN teacher. So SEN teachers don't write reports. So they sent a message out and said, we're writing reports. We're having a CPD for people for how to write reports, the new way the school is writing reports. This teacher didn't go. She got an action plan. An action plan is basically the school telling you that, be careful, if you do this again, we are going to sack you. So she got an action plan. She's not writing reports, but she got an action plan because she's supposed to be there. She doesn't write reports, but because it concerns teachers, she's supposed to be there. So please, anything in print, whether it's the children that have written it, whether it's the parents that have written it, whether it is, please read everything.
Mommy, your last words.
Well, just like Jay said, you're going to be fine. We've said the do's and don'ts. So yes, you're going to be fine. And I will just say, even though we say you should not ask some questions, if you see that you are not understanding, please ask question. Don't imagine or think it should be this way. It
Yeah.
might end up putting you in trouble. So you should ask questions where necessary as well.
Yeah. Okay, what one thing you can try in your early years when you migrate newly is, even now you could do daily affirmations. You're enough, right? What you have is enough. All you need to work on is building your confidence. Are there going to be setbacks? Yes, but try to bounce back immediately. Don't dwell on the setbacks. Like Jay will say she refuses to see the, I don't want to name the word, but take your mind off all the negatives, focus on the positives, and just keep going. Guard your heart with diligence. That's the Bible scripture. Guard your heart with diligence. Filter anything that goes into your mind, filter the distractions, focus on your goal, and keep doing what you're doing. You're good enough, and you're going to be fine last. So that's my own last word. Challenges will come, but don't get drowned in those challenges. Keep going. Don't stop. You get there. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this
Yeah.
weekend. We're going to be back here next week, Sunday.
You-
If you have suggestions of videos we can do, you can either go to Jay's um channel or go to Mommy's channel, or even comment on the live video in any of the channels you're watching from. Give us ideas of some of the things you think we should discuss to help support you. It was really nice hanging out with you, and we are going to see you again next week, Sunday.
Next week, Sunday.
Yes.
Yes. See you guys. What are we going to
Bye,
talk about
guys.
next Sunday?
Bye.
I
See
think
you
they
next
should
week.
give us an insight. Like,
Okay.
let them bring up their own topics. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's read through theirs and pick out one thing to, or even make a list and then tick them off one at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Does it work? Mine is not working today.
Bye. Someone said thank you for scaring us. We didn't scare you though.
You're not scared. Oh my God. We didn't
We
scare
didn't
you.
tell you. Oh, it's better you know these things so that it won't come as a shock to you when you're faced with it.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's
to
not.
scare you, but to
Wait, what are you? The mine is not working today. I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.